This is Dran's sword, but it didn't always look like this. This is what Dran's sword could have looked like. Beyblades go through a bunch of different designs before they settle on the final one. And sometimes it's a good choice, and other times they should have just gone with the original design. I mean, look at this Excalibur, and look at the one we got. This one is so much better. Anyway, I thought it'd be a lot of fun to take these trashed but amazing looking prototype designs and actually make them in real life to see just what we were missing out on. And yeah, we're going to be judging these prototype designs on two categories. Category number one, the design, how cool the Beyblade looks, and category number two, functionality. How strong are these prototype Beyblades, and can they beat the Beyblades they eventually become? Alright, with that out of the way, let's get started. To be frank, Buster Excalibur is just downright ugly. I mean, look at Buster Excalibur and compare it to like Siege Excalibur. Its design just looks so goofy. I mean, the metal sword in the middle, why is it just like one long sword? It has no dimension at all. And honestly, it is probably the goofiest Excalibur we've ever received. But it didn't have to be that way. Here are Buster Excalibur's prototype designs, and for the most part, they all look like the Buster Excalibur we got, just honestly a little better. But there is one design that I think looks so amazing, and it is this one right here. It is a futuristic Excalibur, and oh my goodness, why did we not get this one? Why did we end up with the ugly looking Buster Excalibur? Anyway, with my friend Buddha's help, which he is helping model all these Beyblades in this video, so shout out to him, we were able to recreate Buster Excalibur and its design that honestly it probably should have had. This is the futuristic Excalibur in real life, and oh my goodness, this thing looks so cool. It has the lava pouring out of it, it has the metal sword, and not only that, I custom printed it so it is completely made out of metal, but it is pretty thin, so it probably won't be weighing that much more than a normal Beyblade, but still the metal contact points are crazy. Not only that, Buddha did include a really awesome gimmick in the design, similar to like Arc Bahamut. When the Beyblade loses clicks, it has a metal sword inside the layer, and as it loses clicks, that sword becomes more and more aligned with the actual sword on Excalibur, so when it's on its final click, it'll do an amazingly strong metal impact attack. I don't know, I feel like that's a pretty cool gimmick. So yeah, the combo I decided to put on this thing is basically the same exact combo that came on Buster Excalibur. We're running one dash, I think it's sword. I kind of wanted to keep with the sword theme, so why change the combo? And yeah, overall, as for the design of this Beyblade, I mean, look at this thing. It is so cool. This is definitely a 10 out of 10 design. But let's see if it's actually a 10 out of 10 Beyblade. Let's see how it does in the stadium. So before we start, I actually want to weigh this thing. Even though it is super thin, as I'm feeling it right now, it feels really heavy. So this thing weighs around 70.4 grams. Oh my gosh, it's fat. To put in comparison, this is how much Buster Excalibur weighs, 51.5 grams. So this guy is actually 20 grams heavier. I was not expecting that because it's so thin, but I guess metal really does make a difference. So yeah, let's just put up against some Beyblades and see how good this guy is. So Buster is a Chosi Bey, so we're gonna test it against some Chosi Beyblades. So first off, we have Z Achilles. Go, shoot. Go, shoot. Oh my gosh, it is just straight metal, and there we go, just one hit and Achilles is out of there. I'm scared to launch this thing because this metal is kind of sharp. I'm scared to like break off and like jab into my eyes. That does not sound that pleasant. All right, next we have Crash Ragnarok versus Excalibur. Oh my gosh, and just one hit and Ragnarok is out of here. All right, so far this Excalibur prototype Beyblade has been kind of OP, but let's really put it to the test. Here we have Revive Phoenix, probably one of, if not the strongest Chosi Beyblade. Let's see how it does. 3, 2, 1, go. Go. All right, Excalibur. Okay, one hit kind of sends Phoenix flying. Oh, come on. Solid hit. Oh my god. Yo, it won. It hit him so hard that it made him stop spinning. And the gimmick work. Look at that. The sword is basically lined up with the other one. Let's click that back in place. I guess that's what caused the super hard hit. Go, shoot, go, shoot. Oh my gosh! Oh, that. I thought my Beyblade broke. I thought Excalibur combust into like a billion pieces, but no, it actually just burst from my Phoenix. Okay, so far this has been kind of a murder machine. Let's see if it can beat Buster Excalibur, the Beyblade that apparently took its place. 3, 2, 1, go. I definitely think it can. Go. All right, and yep, just an instant burst after 2 hits. Let's see if the gimmick worked. The gimmick did kind of work, didn't do it all the way though, but it was still enough to burst Buster Excalibur. Alright, I know I said that was the end, but I feel like that was anticlimactic. This Beyblade has so much more potential and so many more Beyblades it could just totally destroy. So let's see, let's put up some more Beyblades. Alright, so this will be the final test. Here I have Zyphoid Excalibur, the most powerful Excalibur to be released. Dynamite Excalibur. To put in perspective, let's see how much it weighs. This guy weighs 78.4 grams, so it actually weighs more than our completely metal Excalibur. So let's see how it does. Go, shoot. There's Zyphoid Excalibur. Go, shoot. And there we go, our prototype Excalibur. Okay, it's speeding up. Oh my, a tie. Go, shoot. Go, shoot. All right, and another tie. Go, shoot. Go, shoot. All right, both Beyblades are in the stadium. That was such a hard hit from the Zyphoid, but the futuristic Excalibur is still in it. Who is going to win? They're both running out of spin. I think that was another tie. Look how much bigger Zyphoid Excalibur is, and it is still tying with this tiny Beyblade. Wow, okay, this is stressful. 3 ties in a row. Is it gonna be a 4th? No! He actually manages to burst Zyphoid Excalibur. This thing is so OP. Okay, well this is like a 10 out of 10 on the design scale and a 10 out of 10 on the competitive scale. This is like the perfect prototype Beyblade. I'm so sad that they didn't go with it. Instead, we got Buster Excalibur, which looks so ugly. Anyway, let's move on to our next prototype design. Hopefully it is just as cool. Achilles is one of the most popular Beyblades ever created, but it could have been so much more. This is Union Achilles, and don't get me wrong, I love Union Achilles. It is one of my favorite Achilles Beyblades, but these are its prototype designs. And honestly, the prototype designs look way cooler, especially this one, which takes both swords and makes them point in the same direction, so it has one massive contact point. Like, come on, that is such a cool concept. Not only that, it looks like the metal weight actually pierces through the layer and gives the Beyblade metal contact points, and depending on what position you put the weight in will actually change the Beyblade's mode. This is like the full metal attack mode, and this is the normal mode. And come on, like, I know I've been saying cool a lot, but these prototype designs have so much potential. Anyway, we were able to make this prototype design in real life, and here it is right here. And wow, that looks so cool. So yeah, just like Excalibur, we outsourced another metal 3D printed part. This time it's the weight. Here it is right here. It is so chunky, and honestly, it kind of looks like a rhinoceros beetle or something. But I'm all for it. That looks pretty cool. And depending on where you put the weight will depend on the Beyblade's mode. And this mode right here, this mode looks deadly. Anyway, as for the design, I think this guy looks pretty cool, but definitely not as cool as Excalibur, but I'm sure it's going to perform a lot better in battle. I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10 for design. Let's go to the stadium and let's see how this guy does versing other Beyblades. I think this mode is absolutely lethal, so we're going to try the other mode first. Yeah, this one looks a little more tame, but still it is so off balance. It's probably gonna get one good hit. Believe me, it's gonna be an insane hit. It's gonna hit so hard, but after that, it's probably just gonna fizzle out. Kind of reminds me of like Buster Excalibur. I mean, look at that thing. Let's do a test launch. Also, I'm running the combo Blitz Zephyr. I decided to give it more of Kind of like a more attack-based combo. I know Zephyr's still a balanced driver. But oh my gosh! Does this Beyblade not even stay together? Is it that off balance? Let's try it again. Oh, I don't think it even stays together. All right, give me a second. Let me just install some better teeth on this thing. Okay, I tighten the chip a bit, and there we go. It does launch, but it is so crazy. The driver just popped out. But I think it's good enough to actually battle, so let's test it out against some Beyblades. Here we have Ragnarok. I'm actually very scared. 3, 2, 1, go! Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! This Beyblade is crazy. If it's crazy on this mode, I can't even imagine what it's like on the other mode. Anyway, it totally obliterated Ragnarok there. I guess we'll upgrade. Here we have Bush and Ashura. I don't even know if Bush and Ashura is an upgrade, but it is supposed to be a defense Beyblade. It's not defending against any attacks against this psychotic Achilles combo. Oh my gosh, wait, this one is so fun. This Beyblade is so fun. Granted, it spins for like maybe 10 seconds tops, but in those 10 seconds, it is wreaking havoc. All right, here we have Judgment Joker. Shoot, go, shoot. All right, oh my gosh. It just bursts everything. All right, Slash Valkyrie. You know what? Let's test out its other mode. Here it is. Oh my goodness, this thing looks so crazy with this insane metal contact point. All right, well, let's try it. Here we have Slash Valkyrie. 3, 2, 1, go shoot. I'm scared, guys. 3, 2, 1, go. Ow! Ouch. Ah, it got tangled in the launcher and it hit my thumb. I don't know if you can see, it's already starting to bruise. So, it still hurts. I don't know why I'm laughing. Anyway, let's try it again. This Beyblade is so dangerous. It actually, wait, it's more balanced than the other mode. And it's still super crazy. It's able to get those bursts, but it actually looked a little more balanced. Not as crazy as I thought. I guess that makes sense. The weight is more distributed. Instead of all being on this side, it's on the top as well. So yeah, my hand still hurts. Anyway, let's move on to the final test, see how it does against Union Achilles, the Beyblade that ended up taking its spot. And honestly, I really like this Beyblade more than Union Achilles. I'm gonna be honest, even though it hurt me, it is so powerful. You see that in like 2 hits, it absolutely destroys Achilles. Let's do that one more time to show it wasn't a fluke. 3, 2, 1, go. Oh my gosh, destroyed. Oh wait, no. The Beyblade got destroyed while battling Union Achilles. Okay, you know what? I think that's a good place to end it off. Well, you know, actually, let's see how it does against Dynamite Achilles. This will be the final test. 3, 2, 1, go. It was just too crazy for its own good, but if it defeats Dynamite Achilles, I will still give it a 10 out of 10 on functionality. Shoot. Okay, there we go. It's jumping around like crazy. It's like a Capricorn Beyblade. Solid hits. But in the end, I don't think this version can beat Union Achilles. Because it didn't beat Dynamite Zest Achilles, I can't give it a 10 out of 10, but it's as close to 10 out of 10 as it gets. This is a 9 out of 10 Beyblade, functionality-wise. All right, anyway, let's move on to our next prototype Beyblade. For this one, I'm covering not 1, not 2, not even 3. We're covering 4 ProtoDesign Beyblades. We're covering the original 4 burst Beyblades: Valkyrie, Spriggan, Ragnarok, and Kirbyus. And here are their prototype designs. And to be honest, they don't look that cool. The other prototype designs we've made so far have been really cool, but these ones look kind of lame in my opinion. They're kind of ugly. Valkyrie was super round, Ragnarok looked like a chicken nugget, and Kirbyus was supposed to be purple. Ew. Anyway, maybe I'm judging these Beyblades too hard, so I printed them all out with translucent plastic, which I thought would look really cool, but then it actually just turned out to be white. But yeah, here they are, and to be honest, they look a lot cooler in person. As for design-wise, I think Achilles and Excalibur definitely killed it in the design. aspect. These ones honestly look worse than the actual single layers that we got. So I'm actually happy we got those single layers and not these prototypes. But yeah, I'm going to have to give them like, I don't know, like a 2 out of 10 on design. But let's see if they're good in the stadium and verse them against their final design versions of them. So for the prototype Beyblades, because we have 4 of them, I'm just going to put them up against their final design counterparts. So yeah, let's do first to 2 points for every Beyblade. First off, let's start with Ragnarok. Now they have a pretty similar design, except the prototype Ragnarok is a little rounder, and also it is a lot thinner. So it is much lighter, but let's see. Maybe the rounder edges will give it an edge. So funny. Anyway, first to 2 points, burst count is 2 points. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go shoot, go shoot. All right, there we go, both Beyblades in the stadium. Now I think what's really interesting about single layer Ragnarok is it's supposed to be a stamina type Beyblade, but it's low-key built like an attack type. And there we go, our Ragnarok just bursted. So that's 2 points to the normal Ragnarok. So it looks like even though prototype Ragnarok has smoother edges, regular Ragnarok is just bigger and heavier, which is crazy to say about Ragnarok because it is not that big and heavy. Anyway, next up, let's check out prototype Spriggan. Now, prototype Spriggan is actually chunkier than normal Spriggan. If you look at it, it's bigger, it's wider, it should be heavier. So let's see which one's better in battle. Go, shoot, shoot. All right, there we go. Normal Spriggan versus prototype Spriggan. Solid hits from prototype Spriggan. But it looks like normal Spriggan is still holding strong. Whoa, oh, wait, a burst. All right, so it looks like prototype Spriggan won. So that's 1 for the prototypes, 1 for the normal. Let's move on to the next one. This one is probably gonna be disappointing. Here we have normal Valkyrie versus prototype Valkyrie. Prototype Valkyrie is so tiny. Look at this thing. You know what, let's weigh these. We'll weigh the Valkyrie layer. It weighs around 8 grams. Prototype layer, 3.6 grams. So the normal Valkyrie is more than double the prototype's weight. That is kind of concerning. But you know what? Maybe because the prototype's rounder, it'll have more stamina. Let's see, 3, 2, 1, go. All right, both Beyblades in the stadium. I mean, it won, but I think I saw a piece of it fly off. Yep. It is just so small and brittle, it broke after the first launch, but it did win. So that is a point to the prototype Beyblades. And finally, we have Kirbyus. Now, unlike Valkyrie, prototype Kirbyus actually looks a little better. If you look at it, it is much rounder. It's actually thicker. So actually, I understand why they didn't want to go with this Kirbyus design because it would be so broken. It is basically just a complete circle. If they thought, you know what, maybe not. It tied with the normal Kirbyus. I was about to say, if they banned single layer Odin, this thing would have been banned too, but you know what, maybe it just doesn't have that great of burst resistance. Let's see it again. All right, first to 2 points. Yeah, actually, this Beyblade sucks. It has terrible burst resistance. So the winner is normal Kirbyus, meaning the score is 2-2. 2 wins for the prototype designs and 2 wins for the final design. I think we end this in a tiebreaker. We put up the 2 best Beyblades. Spriggan's the best prototype. I think Kirbyus is the best normal single layer. So let's see who wins. Spriggan versus Kirbyus. All right, pretty stationary battle. Solid hits. And Kirbyus actually burst Spriggan, so the normal Beyblades win, and I gotta say, I do like the normal Beyblades better than their prototype designs. I said prototype so much, I'm sorry about that. Let's move on to the next Beyblade. Fafner is going to be our last design of the video, and this one is pretty unique. Instead of making a completely new design, they actually based Fafner off a single layer Valkyrie and they just put like rubber strips on it. You see, Drain Fafner was the first Beyblade to ever spin steal in Beyblade Burst, so to see if the spin stealing gimmick even worked in Burst, they decided to just take a Valkyrie and throw some rubber on it, and they did a bunch of tests, and they slowly morphed the single layer Valkyrie with rubber on it into the Fafner that we all know and love. And that is why Drain Fafner kind of looks like a golden Dorito. Anyway, I printed out a left spinning single layer Valkyrie. Here it is in my hand real quick. Let's put some rubber on it and let's see how it does in the stadium. As for its design, I do like single layer Valkyrie's design, but I feel like I can't give it any higher. Actually, this design sucks. They just took a Beyblade and Just put some rubber on it. So I'm gonna give it a 1 out of 10. But yeah, let's test out the stadium and see if it works. The combo I'm using on it, I just put 8-0 Drain Fafner's combo. So yeah, let's go. I didn't have any rubber tabs, so I just hot glued the corners of Valkyrie, and hot glue has a pretty similar consistency to rubber, so I think it should work fine. Anyway, here it is right here with the Fafner combo. I'm going to hand spin it and let's see if it can steal any spin. Since it is a single layer, let's try it out against Kirbyus. All right, there's Valkyrie. And there is Kirbyus. All right. And actually, whoa, wait. It is actually spin stealing pretty well. No wonder they thought this would work. Okay, let's try Ragnarok now. Go, shoot. Go, shoot. It's a burst. You know what? Let's throw another Beyblade at it. Here we have Spriggan. Go. Please, steel spin, steel spin. It's working. Oh my gosh. Wait, it's steel spin way better than Drain Fafner. This is a hack. If you ever want to steel spin from a Beyblade like really well, all you have to do is hot glue your single layer Valkyrie. Wait, this is definitely a success. Okay, you know what? Let's try an even more powerful Beyblade. Let's move to the God series. Here we have Blaze Ragnarok. It is so funny that this is exactly what they did to test if spin stealing would work in burst, and honestly, it's working pretty well. It's a burst! I'm surprised they didn't think this was OP. I mean, it ended up being really OP. When they released Drain Fafner, I think that was like the best Beyblade up until, I want to say like Nightmare Longness or Spriggan Requiem came out, and that was like months. Anyway, it destroyed the competition. Let's do it one more time. I kind of want to see how it does against Siege Excalibur, and then we'll put it up against Fafner to see if it can actually beat Fafner. And remember, this is all from me just hand spinning. It's basically the majority of battles from me hand spinning. I did mod it so it is a left spinning Beyblade, so we can actually launch it using a left spinning launcher. All right, okay, solid hit from Excalibur, but Valkyrie is still here. And you can hear the rubber working because it's like not that hard of hits. It's not like it's hitting plastic against plastic. It's definitely cushioning hits there. And there we go. It is stealing spin and it beat Excalibur. I actually think this is better than Drain Fafner. All right, well, let's put it to the test. Drain Fafner versus prototype Drain Fafner. Go, shoot, go, shoot. Now it actually can steal spin because they are both left spinning Beyblades. So I suspect Fafner probably has more stamina, but maybe the rubber, or I guess the hot glue, will slow Fafner down. Maybe that's the trick. Wait, it's actually kind of working. It is kind of slowing him down. Wait, okay, that was way closer than I thought. But yeah, it looks like when actually versing Fafner, this prototype Fafner does not do that well against left spinning Beyblades, but it does spin steal really well. Better than, honestly, any Beyblade I've ever seen. So because of that functionality, I have to give this guy like a 9 or an 8 out of 10. It would totally be a 10 out of 10 if it could defeat Fafner, it could defeat left spinning Beyblades, but it can't. So because of that, an 8 out of 10. And yeah, that was creating prototype Beyblades in real life. It was a lot of fun. Please subscribe! I'm begging you. I want to hit 1 million subscribers. So if you're not subscribed, please do so. Check that subscribe button. if you don't have to. Anyway, see you guys later. Have a nice day. See you in the next video. Hopefully it'll be just as fun. LeftBurst out.